You ever feel like you're talking, but nobody's really listening? Like your words are just bouncing off a wall? Well, today, we're going to crack the code on that. We're going to look at influence, not as some kind of magic trick, but as a system you can actually learn. It's all about understanding what people are truly hungry for, even when they don't say it. And this quote, this is the key to the whole thing. Just think about it for a second. Every single interaction is a kind of trade. When your colleague is complaining about their crazy workload, they're not just giving you a status update. Nope. They might be trading for a little bit of significance, maybe some approval. Underneath it all, we're all dealing in this invisible emotional currency. And learning to speak that language, well, that's the secret. So, how do you start to see this invisible economy that's humming all around us? That's what we're diving into. We're about to unpack a really powerful framework that's going to help you connect with people on a way deeper level. It's all about learning to spot the hidden needs that are driving almost everything we do. Okay, so let's get one thing straight right away. This is not about being fake. It's not about manipulating people. It's about becoming a mirror. A mirror that shows people what they desperately need to see in themselves. And when you do that, something amazing happens. Trust isn't something you have to fight for anymore. It just shows up. It's the natural result of making someone feel truly, deeply understood. All right, so this whole framework is built around 6 basic human needs, or as our source material calls them, hungers. These are the deep-down psychological cravings that are motivating people in pretty much every conversation, whether they know it or not. And trust me, once you learn to see these, you're going to start seeing them everywhere. So this slide right here, this is basically your cheat sheet for the entire system. It's brilliant. Just look at the first one, significance. The signal is someone saying, no one knows the pressure I'm under. Now, our gut reaction, the breaker, is to say something like, yeah, lots of people do that. It just dismisses them. But the builder response, I don't know how you handle it. Boom. You've just validated their struggle, and you've built a connection. This table is gold. Okay, so that table is fantastic, right? But the big question is, how do you know which hunger is in play at any given moment? How do you diagnose the situation before you open your mouth? That, my friends, is where the diagnostic toolkit comes in. You know, it's so tempting to just jump in with our opinion or a solution, but real influence, real leadership, it comes from a totally different place. You have to shut up for a second, stop thinking about what you're going to say next, and just listen. Listen with real intent. True authority doesn't come from having the answer. It comes from understanding the real question first. So from now on, I want you to think of yourself as a kind of detective. You're listening for 3 specific signals. Complaints aren't just annoying noise. They're huge clues, usually pointing to a need for significance or pity. Brags, they're not just ego. They're giant flashing signs for a need for significance or maybe intelligence. And worries? Worries are a direct window into someone's need for acceptance or approval. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds good in theory, but does it actually work? So let's put it to the test. Let's walk through a few real-world scenarios that I guarantee you have been in before. The wrong approach just makes them feel like a cog in a machine. You've completely dismissed their individual struggle. But the right approach, it validates their unique burden. And notice, you're not offering to solve their problem. You're just acknowledging the weight of it. That tiny little shift is what builds trust in an instant. Now, this one can feel a little backwards, but it's pure genius. By fighting for control, you just create more resistance. But by explicitly giving them the control they're so hungry for, you actually get more freedom in the long run. Why? Because they stop micromanaging you, they finally trust that you respect their authority, and that trust is everything. And this last one really brings it all home. The goal here isn't to win the argument, it's to build an ally. When you attack their facts, you're not really attacking their data, you're attacking their identity. But when you validate their intelligence, you can turn someone who feels like a competitor into a partner. So at this point, you're probably thinking, wow, this is kind of like a superpower. And like with any power, it brings up a really, really important question about how we should use it. This is the big one, right? We have to tackle this head on. Is feeding someone's psychological hunger just a sneaky way to get what you want? Where is the line between genuine influence and, well, just straight up manipulation? You know, the answer really comes down to your intent. It's all about your goal. Are you building bridges or are you setting traps? See, this stuff works because these are real, genuine human needs. The whole point is to create better outcomes for everyone, to find those win-win situations. True sustainable influence is always, always built on understanding, never on force. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. This isn't about becoming a better talker, it's about becoming a better listener, a better mirror. And that leaves us with a final thought to take with you. In your very next conversation, what if you stopped trying so hard to be interesting and instead just focused on being interested? What if the most influential thing you can possibly do is to simply make someone else feel seen?